Because we love bitches.
Coming soon to this theater.
It's alive. It's moving. It's coming this way.
What is up, people? It's your boy Brian, back for another episode of the Horror Movie Club. What do we do in the Horror Movie Club? Figure it out, bitches. We watch horror movies. We always try to make sure it's a movie that's not behind a paywall. So what that means is when we announce the show, we post that it's coming in advance. You can go click on a link that's in the description that will take you to a free print of the movie that you can watch. It's totally uncensored. But also, if you're just joining us now and you've never seen tonight's movie, which is An American Werewolf in London, first of all, if you haven't seen An American Werewolf in London, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
but
shame.
You're fucked. Yeah, no, you're a little fucked up. You're a little fucked up, right? I'm not just keeping it real. But you can rectify that shit by going down into the description and clicking on a link. It will take you to a free, completely uncensored version of the movie. Now, let me bring on my buddies who are hanging out. First of all, my co-host, your boy, Matt Burke. What is going on,
what up,
brother?
dude? What's going on, man?
Good to see you, man.
You too, man. I can't wait to talk about fucking An American Werewolf in London.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I got some cool fucking picks, too. Like,
fuck yeah. Can't wait to see the fan art.
Movie posters, fan art.
Yeah,
and shit like that. I always love that. I always love that shit. And then, of course, there's Pops Van Zandt. What's going on, man?
What's up? What's up? The show is brought to you by all kinds of cool things. Home Farms, Fun My Comic. No, I'm kidding. I just like product placement.
That's not the coffee mug / bong from Cabin in the Woods, is it?
Not yet. Not yet.
Isn't that amazing that thing actually worked?
It actually exists.
Dude, I love that.
Yes. It worked. It worked
it
as a coffee mug and as a bong. They actually spent like thousands of dollars to have that fucking thing made.
One of the best movie props ever.
Right?
I know. Have that shit on eBay.
I thought it was computer graphics.
If you see it. And then, of course, there's my boy, your boy, and that's Preston Acevedo. What's going on, brother?
If you haven't seen American Werewolf in London, you don't live on this planet.
The fuck
You're right. There's something a little fucked up about you.
Oh shit!
You know, if you've been in if you were being held captive by like a religious cult or something like that, I understand, right? I knew somebody that
like you missed the comment.
Well, yeah, exactly, right? Like I knew somebody that was in my group that was had left a cult, and she had never seen a Star Wars movie. She didn't know who James Bond was.
Is it the Catholic Church she left?
I was going to
say
no. It had to be like a word of faith thing.
Orthodox Jews.
Yes,
and they are a cult because they don't let you leave. And to me, that's how do you define a cult? Do they let you out? And then that one,
nowhere.
They don't. But she skipped out of it, and so it was like
get the machetes.
Whole world.
Got you for 3 minutes of playtime.
And of course, there's our boy Dave. What's going on, Dave?
Hey, I'm good. Just fresh out of the shower. I'm bathrobing it, so I figured I'd just
sexy.
Yeah.
Ow! Sexy.
Bow wow.
Oh man, there is some fucking cool ass.
I mean, I know it's the horror movie club, but I don't want to scare anybody.
Well, dude, you won't see me on camera wearing like mesh T-shirts, right? Like that. I would never do that. I would never do that to people.
Shadowback Breaker.
Some people are into that kind of
what's
thing.
up, Shadowhawk? What's up? Is that Hex? I see too. And
Heck,
I wouldn't wear that not based on being embarrassed, but based on who I might attract. That's what would scare me.
Right.
I don't want to attract the wrong people.
No.
Way back in the beginning,
I
we had
don't want to
was here
attract
first.
the wrong ones.
Right.
Sim was here first. He was the first guy in the chat.
First.
Yes.
Shadowhawk was
what up,
right
some
on it.
Ink Slayers in the house. Man, that's so good to be an Ink Slayer. Well, I can't tell you.
Look.
I gotta get one of those beanies because it's fucking cold as a bitch out here in New York right now.
Oh, is it really?
Man. Yeah, because I'm a little bit.
It's cold as a bitch everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like I used to be like further south, and now I'm like not really upstate New York. I'm still in the Hudson Valley, but it's still upstate-ish. And like for instance, it hasn't rained. It didn't snow for 2 years straight in New York City.
Oh, now it is, right? It's getting cold.
Now it is, but still 2 years without snow. That ain't right.
I got sick on like Sunday, man. I'm fucking finally feeling better. I've just been like trying to go light on the medicine and just pushing.
Isn't it funny how so many people? Because I was sick after Christmas.
I
missed one of the horror clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. The funny thing is isn't it great to have it like the old times where everybody around you was getting sick, but they didn't give it a fancy name in a marketing campaign?
Oh yeah.
It's just there's something going around. Yeah, that's all it was.
Yep. I mean that's always been the case. There's just always like flu season and shit like that. A little bit of sad news. The actor who played the creature from the Black Lagoon, Riku Browning, recently passed away, but he was like 93 years old, right?
That sucks, but it's like, damn, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I want to be like 150 years old. Like, I'm gonna be 150 years old. I'm gonna live long.
Dude.
I'm telling my body that. You know what I mean? You got to tell
I
it.
just don't want to be 150 years
you
old
can
and be
try,
like a mummy.
I want to live like 300 years.
That crypt keeper.
300 years is a solid number. I want to be
what
like.
I do, Matt, is you wear that Bluetooth sleep mask and you can listen to suggestion while you're for your 8 hours, however much you get. That you will live that long. Like how Christopher Reeve
not aging like they used to.
Because
They really
like how
aren't.
Christopher Reeve could go back in time just based on suggestion and hang with Jane Seymour.
Yes.
You can
It's
do
like,
it.
hold my beer. I'll be right back.
Within the next 20 years, you'll be able to be uploaded to the web anyway, so it's not gonna.
Yeah, but that won't be you. That will be another
totally.
Being that's basically
Hail,
a
old
copy,
dude.
a photocopy of your mind.
Pretty much.
Right? It's not gonna have a soul.
Right.
It's not gonna be a living thing. But who knows? I find AI.
Yeah, that's right, man. I'll be like up in heaven critiquing my fake self down. And I'm like, that's not. I would never do that.
Yes.
I would never do that.
You're like flying down, smacking yourself in the back of the head. Like,
Yeah, like what kind of
Well, it's
robot? Who built you?
That was one of my favorite scenes in Invincible, where you had the robot, right, who was actually like a drone that was being piloted.
Oh yeah, you're right.
This
that was pretty cool. The show was pretty
poor
cool.
guy that was born basically as Belial from Basket Case.
Yeah,
And
totally.
he wanted the blood. I call them the Blood Brothers, right? Because that's
Right.
who they always remind me of. Create a clone of him, but not fucked up, and then he makes a copy of his mind to print onto that being, but it makes it very, very clear he's dying. That's not him.
Prime's bringing the superhero content that's actually entertaining. Like the last 2 years, they like fucking took
well, I mean,
over
that
from Marvel.
shit's
Like that and
so
fucking
good.
The Boys are like the best shit going on right now.
It actually endeared me to those villains. Actually,
Yeah.
Like, I was,
Yes.
because
That's
they
what
actually
I want.
cared. They were like, "Yeah, dude, you're gonna die."
Yeah,
This ain't gonna
I
be
like
you.
that show.
yeah, and all because he was in love
Art,
with
what's
Monster
up, Art?
Girl.
What's up,
Hey
brother?
guys, good to see you.
You too, man.
What's up, Hart?
No,
What's up? Oh, Hart. Hey, what's up, brother? Good to see you,
Hart,
man.
what's up,
How did
I just got done
thingy
doing
thing go?
spoken word with my book Still Dead and my other book Poems for the Dead. So I was just over working with the guys from Psychotoxin Press and did a 20-minute spoken word set. So that was fun.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Bitchin'.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool, man. You're going like full Henry Rollins here.
Well, I always have been. That's something that people do about me is my first collection of poetry, Poems for the Dead, was printed in 1995. And I've been doing spoken word since the summer of 93 when my girlfriend was killed. And that was when I started writing this stuff and performing this stuff. It was a cathartic. I had to get these emotions out of me. 100%. So I have had this book is the Chaos edition because Chaos did a printing with it. And so both these books were for sale at the Hot Topic stores in the mall in the 90s.
That's insane.
And the funny part about that is I had a fake salesperson. That did it was me, but I was Conrad Neuhardt.
All right, look, I got to thank you for sitting in for me last week with the big hat and all that. Hart, appreciate that, bro.
You got to respect the hustle. You got to respect the hustle. Hart has had a very, very interesting life.
Existence.
Yeah,
like Conrad.
We were just talking about the actor that was the Gill Man from Creature of the Black Lagoon, Koepp Browning, no longer with us.
First thing I thought when I saw his picture was he would have been great movies without the mask.
Yeah, no, he kind of looked like a movie star. I just remember hearing when I was a kid that this guy could like hold his breath for like 5 minutes. Jesus, right? There's that wonderful scene where he is, in the water swimming underneath the heroine who's, swimming above him, and he's kind of below her and she can't see him. Just the hand movements and everything. How he's like, also reaching up, right? Kind of like about to touch her foot and stuff like that. So he was giving a real performance. It's not like it was just a guy in a rubber suit. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. And he was just, he wasn't an actor. He was just like a jock or something. He was like
I thought he was a scuba guy. I thought like he was a swimming kind of scuba dive guy.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. That's right. Because like it says here, we've lost him. 93. That's can't do much better than that. Yeah, he was an underwater cinematographer and stuntman, and he was uniquely equipped to play the creature. And he went on to direct even some underwater sequences in movies like Thunderball.
Hey,
and,
but can
Caddyshack.
Wouldn't he be considered an actor though? Because the guys who step into the Godzilla suits, like they're considered actors.
Dude, absolutely. When I say that he wasn't an actor, I'm saying he didn't come from that background.
All the guys that played Jason, the guys who played
exactly. Yeah.
Right.
They're acting.
For sure. Without a fucking doubt, right? Like, I mean, nobody is ever going to do a better Michael Myers walk than fucking Nick Castle.
I would agree with that.
It's never gonna fucking happen.
I would agree with that.
But yeah, some other cool news. That's cool news, I should say. That's creature related. And also speaking of, who's the guy who did Invincible? It's
Kirkman,
Robert Kirkman. Thank you. His imprint Skybound is doing a Creature from the Black Lagoon comic book series.
Hey, you know what? His label, they also put out fucking Manifest Destiny. That was the first book I picked up by them. And it was a horror, explorer horror, kind of like, that book that showed the terror on AMC. So,
yes,
that's cool. I haven't even fucking read his shit, but, that was dope. And this looks fucking, I
was very disappointed.
In the 90s, they were trying to revive Creature of the Black Lagoon, and I'm friends with David J. Scow, the screenwriter and author. He wrote I love that dude. First Crow film. He wrote several of the Critters movies. He wrote several chapters of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, And they had him working on a Creature of the Black Lagoon script for a long time, and it was a dream project for him. He even had like a Creature of the Black Lagoon pinball machine at his house. So
I love that fucking thing. They had that in a bar near me.
In the season 2 of The Terror.
Like, oh, really?
Yeah, because it wasn't about the pirate ship. You know what I'm saying? It was.
I've heard it's not.
It was horrible.
I haven't started watching it yet. I just watched Sisu the other night. Hard recommend.
I want to check that out.
Yeah, fucking Sisu. Check that shit
out.
I
gotta admit, I
Sisu. Okay, yeah. About the fucking Finnish dude.
Prospector, yeah. Fighting the Nazis.
Merkin Nazis.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm excited for this, man.
Yeah, it looks really fucking dope, dude. The covers are killing it. I love that cover the most.
Look at that shit, man.
That's my favorite.
That's badass.
I like that a lot. That's very. It's very. I mean, it's the same concept as Jaws, but
just the paint. Really, it looks like it's it's fucking school, man.
It's just the imminency of it is what.
Well, it says Universal Monsters, so does that mean it's an official licensed product from Universal?
I was about to say, that's a really encouraging sign. This is an indication that if this does well, which I'm sure it will, that Skybound is going to do more shit with the Universal Monsters, which means we could see fucking shit. We could get the whole unholy trinity: Dracula, the Wolfman, maybe the Mummy. I've always. I've never been able to kind of understand why Universal has left that money source, that income source.
Well, the thing is you don't need Universal to do Dracula, the Mummy, or the Wolfman. Those are all public domain things. They can't say shit. They don't own it. Frankenstein's in the public domain. Same with
Frankenstein is. Frankenstein is.
Creature from the Black Lagoon is theirs. They own that.
I thought everything was in public domain except for Creature from the Black Lagoon. I thought that was owned by.
No.
Yeah, most of it is like the Mummy, but you can't have your concept look like theirs.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to. It's the same way like for
Frankenstein's a trippy one, the bolts and whatnot.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Frankenstein's like the trippiest one because with the bolts, like the Karloffian Frankenstein from Universal, you can't have the fucking bolts and the fucking clamps in the forehead. You got to break it up.
I thought it was over 100 years old, though. I mean, you could. What's the limit on copyright?
He is, but here's the thing.
They own their version.
You can't use their version. You can't use their version.
But Preston has
What's copyright? Like on an image? Isn't copyright like 75 years?
Their shit's probably coming up, though. Their shit's probably coming up pretty soon.
Well, what they'll do is you have to prove confusion in the marketplace. As a guy who's been to court over copyright and trademark infringement and beat Marvel, thank you. You have to prove, not only do you have to prove that you own the mark, you have to prove that it's active, and then you have to prove confusion in the marketplace.
Confusion? Right. God damn, they make it so complicated.
Right? Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's just sticky like legal fucking spaghetti that I wouldn't even begin to try.
Well, that's cool though, man. The comic's coming out. This comic looks dope.
Yeah, and like I said, hopefully this will be a big success, and then we can get the other Universal monsters in there.
Yeah.
And then of course a fucking monster rumble.
Oh yeah, beat them up at the end.
Monster Wars.
Well, there's a screenplay for Dracula versus the Wolfman that is excellent, which I read, which was written by Kurtis Fujita back in like the 1940s, and they never filmed that. Make that into a fucking comic.
I think
with Lugosi and fucking Lon Chaney Jr. Like get an artist that can really do their likenesses really well.
Yeah,
dude, that dude that did that movie we reviewed, Frankenstein versus the Mummy, like the guy who did Terrifier.
Oh yeah.
Should do the Universal Monsters
for sure.
Yeah, totally, dude. Yeah, it'd be fucking dope.
But yeah,
are you guys talking about Damien Leone?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I just made a recent discovery. I have the first appearance of Art the Clown. Was a short film that was part of the American Horrors TV series back in 2009.
Oh,
yes,
shit.
We've seen it. Yeah. That's on the YouTubes, and that's not. included. That's not the chapter in.
It's in they put it into All Hallows Eve 1.
Right.
So it's the first one where they're on the train and the subway, and it's before Art the Clown really developed his full finalized look.
Yeah, it's not even the same actor, right? And now we can't imagine anybody but that fucking guy.
And that dude looks out of makeup. He looks so fucking.
He looks like the
guy
Joker.
does a good job.
He looks like the Joker without makeup. He'd be perfect.
Fantastic.
He already is kind of. It kind of is, right? With Art, a mime
Super
Joker.
Fucking talented. But yeah, this is just a little thing that fucking cracked me up. Severin is putting out a 4K edition of Burial Ground. Now, those of you who have never seen Burial Ground, once again, what the fuck is wrong with you? No, look, I know, I can understand, because like maybe you've never even heard of Burial Ground. That's forgivable. I understand. But here's the thing that you need to understand. Your life is not complete until you have seen this fucking sleaze fest.
I've never seen Burial Ground. Never heard of it. So
I've seen it.
Oh, you're in for a treat. You're in for a really like a spicy Italian meatball.
Thanks for putting me on that shit. I'm gonna check it out.
I want to do this on the stream. I've been wanting to do it for a while, but it's just not available. I bet I could find a pretty good print on the YouTubes. But
it'll pop up eventually.
Fucking Peter Bark in fucking 4K. Am I the only one that just finds this fucking hilarious? That it's like these super greasy fucking Italian trash splatter movies are getting like 4K treatment. It's
any
so
way to get people to buy them. That's really what it's all about. Is it's just one more way to repackage something where the licensing is done. Most of the people that own the film are all like gone. They're not on this earth anymore. So these houses are just rating it. And I'm enjoying the same thing at American Horrors, but I prefer the old beat up prints and the VHS prints. And so on American Horrors, I kind of lean towards playing those instead of the super cleaned up, pristine, airbrushed version.
Sure. I mean, it's like how an old comic book smells also takes you back.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And believe me, I get it. Right, I really do. I understand the VHS guys, but for me,
some of us are convinced that you get it, but you really, really get it. I'm sorry, no, it's the way you try to. We already know you get it, but you still try to sell us. It's awesome.
Yes, no, I got to. No, well, here's the thing. All the 4K, 2K, DVD, VHS, fucking 8-track, flexi disc. They're all different ways to watch the same movie. And when you
pretty soon you're not going to be able to watch the same movie.
What was that?
Edit it. Pretty soon they're going to be editing all these.
I know.
You own it on
that's why physical media is so important, and that is why you've got people like Severin that are putting this shit out. And it has. I mean, DVD when it first came out was a collector's market, right? And then next thing you knew, it's just like. I think it was Anchor Bay stopped putting shit out. Blue Underground was still kind of around, but your basic like Hollywood DVDs had no extras.
Anchor Bay got bought out. That's what happened to Anchor Bay. The company that owns Stars Media bought out Anchor Bay.
Oh.
So that's what happened. You had a bunch of greedy corporate heads get involved in a genre that they don't know anything about, and they got the brand and they saw it was profitable, but they don't understand the market. They don't understand why we like this stuff. They just keep grinding it out. Like when the main studios were putting out their collectible covers of Scarface and all these other movies that have been around forever, and they had these really shitty drawings on them, and they're it's a collectible now. It's like a comic book. Look at that. It's crap. It's shit. They don't know what they're doing.
It's so true. Yeah, they're clueless.
Give me the original poster. Give me some poster from Spain or Italy or Hungary and put that on there. And that'll be cool.
Exactly. Like at least Shout Factory does shit like that.
Yeah.
Right? Shout Factory is also killing it. Another one that they're coming out with, that Severn's coming out with. I don't know if this is in 4K. I think it's 2K. They're coming out with Jess Franco's Dracula, Prisoner of Frankenstein. Which
you just had Stephen Biro was releasing through Unknown Films the Guyver in 4K.
Oh, really? No shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sometimes it works against you because you can see all the stuff that you like. It goes against old special effects. You know what I mean? Like it's the picture's so clear you can see where all the seams are.
I agree. About the one with J.J. Walker and
like I was watching
The
Firm, and just streaming on a big TV, and I'm watching the scene with Gene Hackman, and the thing that I could not get away from was he had this long arching eyebrow hair. That was, you know what I mean? It was just like ruining it for me. And I'm like, if this is like on a big screen and just regular.
Yeah, try watching Aliens, the first Aliens on 4K. It'll completely destroy the movie for you.
Yeah,
okay.
I got it.
Yeah,
and that's a big part of, we were talking about horror. I was on a different show and we were talking about
hair scared the
thing
shit
in the
out of
dark
me.
that you can't quite see really clearly is spookier than super well lit 4K demons flying you with fire spitting out of his balls and his ass. And
Yeah.
It's not,
that's one of the things.
scary.
That's one of the things that I think is ingenious about tonight's movie, American Werewolf in London, is that John Landis is very careful at showing you the monster piecemeal.
Right.
But you don't get the full reveal until the very end of the film, and then of course it's Rick Baker we're talking about here. So out of the fucking park. I mean, it is a movie that is as famous, or maybe even more famous, for its special effects than for being just a.
But it's still a really solid piece. Like every scene drives the story forward. There's no fat on this film whatsoever. I just watched it again with my girlfriend, and she's younger than me, so we're watching it. She's 22 years younger than me, but she was into it, man. She was into it. She was wide awake. She enjoyed the film, got all the jokes, all the humor. It's a cold and a wet outside.
Right. Yeah.
You made me mix.
Yeah, and Rick Bale's in that scene. I'd totally forgotten that.
That whole thing with You Made Me Miss was so good, and all of it, just it really holds up. Like stealing the balloons from the kid in the zoo when he's naked. Oh God, that's so funny. It's still funny.
I love the joke about the people from the UN on the plane too. That's it up. But the
perfect horror comedy, man.
I love that. I love that joke.
I mean, it's
somebody just said that already, didn't they?
Yeah, no, but here's the thing too: is much as there's like really funny shit in American Werewolf, it's not a horror. It's not a comedy horror film. It's not a horror comedy. It's a horror movie, and that was what I really loved about it, was that it had that. Yeah, no, of course. I mean, it's John Landis, right? And John Landis at that point had never done anything but comedies. His very first one was Schlock. Yes. Which is actually, I guess, where he first met Rick Baker. And, with the fake gorilla. Right. And then it was Kentucky Fried Wait. It goes Schlock, Kentucky Fried Movie,
what
Animal
about the
House, Blues Brothers, and then I think this.
I think so, yeah. This movie scared the fuck out of me as a kid, man.
No, Animal House.
Me too.
John Landis directed Animal House, right?
Yes.
I thought Harold Ramis or Ivan Reitman did that.
No. He worked on the script, I think.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
John Landis directed it.
He directed it.
Because he went from Animal House to Blues Brothers.
Right.
Good stuff.
And great stuff. And, he was one of those guys who grew up like Joe Dante and his other friends on like Hammer horror movies. And that's one of the things that I've always loved about John Landis is, look, I wouldn't say, God, what was that movie he did that was like a horror movie, but it wasn't, but it was like it was shot as a musical. It was Burke and Hare about the infamous grave robbers.
Really?
Simon Pegg.
Yeah. It was meant to
John
be.
Landis.
Yeah. So it was Simon Pegg and
Andy Serkis.
Horror
Andy
musical.
Serkis, thank you.
Rocky
Yeah.
Horror
He
Picture Show?
did do the funny vampire movie with the chick from La Femme Nikita and with Don Rickles.
Innocent Blood.
And,
Oh, yeah.
Robert
Yes.
Loggia.
Oh, that was a good movie. I like that
That's
movie.
an awesome
good
movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's an
Mafia
awesome movie. The
vampires.
special effects in that are amazon.
I got to go back and rewatch that one. I remember
I
that
just
one.
Get
noticed
made by
like,
me.
Hart looks like the singer from Monster Magnet right now.
Don Rickles, man. Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
God,
Don
his
Rickles.
little
Hold
fans
on.
out when he fucking like burns up and
Let's
explodes.
cover that one next week because I really like the chick from La Femme Nikita. You talk about
Oh,
Peter Wilson.
Let's look and see where it is.
Yeah,
Peter
no,
Wilson,
she,
is that
Emperor
who you're
Law,
talking
she
No, I
was
think you're
smoking
thinking of
hot.
the television show, Pops.
You're talking about
Peter
the
Wilson
Asian
was
one?
the TV
Okay.
show.
Either one.
This was a French actress from
Yes.
La Femme Nikita.
Yeah.
Yes, not the TV show, the movie.
No, the movie. And it very, very different.
Well, still,
Yes.
I'm saying let's cover that next week because I haven't seen that.
Well, we'll take that into mature consideration, Pops, for sure.
Is Innocent Blood 1992?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
that's it. Innocent Blood. Yeah.
That gives me a reason to watch it. See,
This is a fan poster here. That's kind of cool.
Kinda
This
cool.
is the poster that was
The OG
Perfect
poster.
just for Don Rickles, I'll tell you that.
for sure. This was the poster that I remember. I saw this
Me too.
actually.
Me too.
I have really permissive parents, so they took me to see this when I was a
The
little
monster
boy.
movie.
And what can I say? It was freaking amazing. And then here's the thing: Stephen King had said in Danse Macabre that for some reason, for the last 40 years, there hasn't been a single really good werewolf movie. And then shortly after, this and The Howling come out pretty
The two
much
best.
the same summer, didn't they?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I loved them both. And then there was a lot of discussion over, which transformation was better, the Rick Baker
Howling.
or the Rob
The Howling.
Bottin.
Howling. Poutine.
Howling. This
Howling
is cool.
was
This
scarier
is
than
not.
Yeah.
I love this one. I love this.
That's like what you want to
But now,
see.
if
Watching the movie, but you never see that scene.
Yep.
hey, Kid Bash Federation is here. What did you say? You got filmed in the what was filmed in the
Jeff?
Burg?
What
Yeah,
up, Jeff?
What up, Jeff?
The Howling or American Werewolf in London was filmed in the Burg, in Pittsburgh. Anyways,
that would definitely
Probably The
be-
Howling.
at the Howling. Well, yeah, the Howling. I mean,
No, The Howling was shot out in Los Angeles. It was shot out, by the coast
Oh,
by
yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
in
County.
California, right?
Oh,
Makes sense.
Innocent
Yeah,
Blood.
it
He's
was
saying
shot in California, guys.
Innocent Blood was filmed in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. So
Right.
this is not a real authentic comic book cover. This is just fan art. See,
Yeah,
Slaughtered
cool.
Lamb Comics is
Comic,
the
yeah.
publisher.
Pretty cool.
I love that.
1981, 50 cents.
It's dope.
Yeah, I like
I'd
that
buy
a lot.
that. I'd buy that for $1.
Right?
For sure,
Am
man.
I
I'd buy that
incor-
shirt.
For $1.50. For $1.50.
am I
This is
incorrect
really good.
in that Rick Baker got the first Academy Award for special effects for this movie?
I believe he
believe
did.
That's
so.
right. He
Yeah.
did.
And then the last
Yeah, because that wasn't
special
even a category. That wasn't
yeah,
even
and then the last
yeah.
one he got was for
Nutty
Um,
Professor.
Those awards are such a
Wolfman.
fucking joke.
Oh, yeah,
Swear to
of course
God.
they
it was for the Wolfman. So the one that he got that started this category, and then
I
the
like
one
this
that
poster.
he retired with, both werewolves.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, no, and he did beautiful work. Another thing that's great about Rick Baker is guy seems to be in excellent health. I think he's pretty much retired, but he has, I think, probably the dopest collection of horror memorabilia outside of like maybe
Brian Christgau.
Brian
Forrest
Christgau.
J. Ackerman. Because Forrest J. Ackerman, of course, had the collection, but like I know Rick Baker has got tons and tons of like.
Didn't he also
really
do the effects
awesome
on the
shit.
Werewolf TV show with
Oh, that was
Yes.
cool. I remember that.
Chuck
Back in
Connors.
the,
That too. He had the
Chuck
pentagram on his
Connors
handle.
is the bad
wasn't
guy.
that late 80s or something
Yeah.
like that? When that
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the
You
mid
you remember like when they did Automan after
Yeah.
after Tron, and then
Yeah,
they
yeah,
did
yeah.
they
It was
did
basically the
that
Hulk.
show Manimal after. the
Oh
American
God, man!
Manimal.
Didn't they say like from that
Yes, I know,
from
it
that
was
werewolf
horrible,
TV
right?
show? Like the hump on a werewolf's back was actually an oxygen tank for the
Oh, shit.
people inside the suit. I'm
Really?
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's what they said because this They couldn't breathe.
That's entirely possible. There's a lot of animatronics in this too, and with the animatronics, you have to understand that they're puppets, right? But they're really high tech puppets, and there's not just one puppeteer. There's one guy operating the mouth. There's another guy operating the eyes. It's really
like the Energizer Bunny,
or the ears, like in the werewolf TV show. The ears move around.
Yes. Yeah. But his face is caught in a perpetual snarl. That was the thing also in the Werewolf by Night comics. Nobody could draw him not snarling. And wow. That's one of the things I loved about Bad Moon when we covered that, was that very much felt like it was a throwback to this
scene in the beginning, man.
Does anybody follow Rick Baker's Instagram?
I do.
No,
I don't use it.
I didn't know he had an Instagram.
It's
he does.
pretty good according to Jeff.
His video with Joe Rogan's pretty good too. There's some beautiful.
Oh yes.
I remember the documentary on Rick Baker. Like it was fucking amazing.
The scene where he's getting attacked in the beginning on the moors. Rick Baker's punching Griffin Dunn, whatever the fuck his name is. He's punching him with the head puppet, hitting him hard, and Griffin wasn't very happy about that. The one scene where he's running through the woods, he's having the dreams, and he's laying in the bed, and the nurse is with him. That scene always fucked me up as a kid. And he smiles with his big fucking yellow eyes and the big teeth. That give me nightmares.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of really great imagery, and we're gonna look at some clips too. I got fucking clips out the fucking yin yang.
Yeah. I like her too. I didn't even think about that.
The origin of this, evidently, John Landis said he was in Yugoslavia. He was like doing second unit shit for like Kelly's Heroes. He has like a picture of himself with fucking Clint Eastwood and fucking
Donald Sutherland.
Yes, and fucking Kojak.
Telly Savalas.
And again, our buddy Don Rickles.
Yep. Yes. I totally fucking forgot about it, that he's in there.
I'm out here drinking some wine, eating some cheese, getting some rays, man. That was a favorite of mine as a kid, Kelly's Heroes.
Awesome movie. And not as good as The Great Escape, but pretty badass. He said that they were going like across this, what's now the former Yugoslavia, on like a 400-mile road, right? Mm-hmm. And they reached like a crossroads, and there were some gypsies there, and they started to see what they were doing, and they were burying somebody, and they were burying them standing up.
Oh wow! These people were, just to clarify, they were dead, right?
Yes.
You just said they were burying some people, but we were not clarifying.
They were burying a corpse. They were burying a corpse, right?
Thanks for.
You with ropes or what?
It was. I'm guessing, right? Because they were just watching them do this, right? And they said the hole was like really deep, right? So I mean, they still bury them like fucking 6 feet, but they bury them standing up.
12-foot hole.
That's in
Brian. You got to take note of that, Brian. Take note.
Oh yeah. No, it's dude. This is cool folklore.
Like interesting visual,
right? And the reason is to like confuse the vampire, because that way it's just. I think it's that they just
disorientation.
Yeah, that like they can only move forward. They can't move. Like, I don't know the particulars of it, but it was in case he got up. And he said the guy was driving and was like laughing, those stupid gypsies. And then he thought, well, what if he actually did get up?
Right.
And that was actually like kind of the origin of this movie, where the germ of it, he said, came from. And, he was always a massive Hammer fan. Him, fucking Martin Scorsese, Joe Dante, like all those dudes, like they were like just the right age when like Curse of Frankenstein and Horror of Dracula came out. And he just always wanted to do a horror movie. And he said, and he's also somebody who says that it drives him crazy when people call this movie a comedy. He's just like, it's the first scene in the movie when you first see these characters, they're riding on the back of a truck with sheep. He's just like, this is a horror movie. They're both gonna fucking die. But yeah, no, of course it's got lots of humor.
Lot of humor.
You need the humor. Really helps you to loosen up tension, because when you're making your film, it's a roller coaster. So when you're doing it, just like when I do the programming for American Horrors, I don't just put on chainsaw kill after chainsaw kill.
Right,
in between our movies, it's all funny. I do it on purpose so that in between horror, it's funny. Like, I think that's one of the best formulas about Svengoolie or any of the horror hosts. So for myself as a horror host on American Horrors, we always make sure to have funny in between to let the tension go so you can bring it back up.
A lot of modern horror, like we've been watching a lot of modern horror lately, and that's what it's missing. It's missing like
it's not funny.
You know, like it's all tension, and it always like ends on a cliffhanger or some stupid shit like that. You know?
For a bummer, we called it. My wife and I called it the bummer moment, like Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad, we called it. You either have the bummer moment, oh man, or you got the he won, he got out of the cage, great job, he got the killer, all right. And we call that the moment. And like shows like Breaking Bad, they don't have a moment. There's no moment in the whole goddamn series. Everybody's miserable and unhappy.
Which is kind of the point. It's the same way that when you have humor to break up the tension, you also have to love horror movies that are just fucking relentless. They're just like out to fucking get you. But I mean, I know Joe Bob Briggs, I disagree with him. He's convinced that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a dark comedy. That's just right.
Every Friday the 13th, besides the first one, is a dark comedy. No, I'm sorry. I'm Nightmare Before. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street. That's
He's a Bugs Bunny after.
Well, I mean, like it's interesting because like I've been on this thing where I'm watching lesser horror movie sequels, like ones that I just never even bothered with, right? Like Watchers 2. Or Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, you know, shit like that. Right. Because every now and then you'll discover something. You'll be like, "Damn, that was actually pretty good." So I've finished the last 2 Nightmare on Elm Street movies that I hadn't seen, which is I think Freddy's Dead and the one before that, The Dream Child, right?
Oh yeah.
And The Dream Child I actually thought was okay, and then the last one, Freddy's Dead, was just fucking horrible. You can tell they had
I didn't like Freddy's Dead at all. And a little known fact is the woman that directed it hated horror movies.
Rachel Talalay, went on to do
horror films. So how can you do that if you don't like them?
Exactly.
This is probably going to be controversial, but my all-time favorite is still Dream Warriors.
A lot of people like Dream Warriors.
Got that doc and
everybody's.
Exactly.
Preston acted like that's like some kind of like a controversial fucking stance.
Well, everything I heard was like a lot of people don't like Dream Warriors.
No, it's really good. It's the one that really made it. That was the one that really broke it out of the ghetto of your average slasher film. That was the film that knocked it into the stratosphere and set the tone for.
No, I totally agree. But there's a lot of people that like it as like a, you know, like in that indie type of alternative.
Hey, it's written by Frank Darabont, guys.
Yes, and directed by Chuck Russell, who did also that absolutely amazing remake of The Blob.
I do like that Blob remake with Brian Dillon.
So good.
Yeah, that was bad.
I really like that.
So good. But yeah, so these guys go to the Slaughtered Lamb. In New York City, there's a place called the Slaughtered Lamb that has a sign like that. It's in the West Village.
It's not eerie about that.
I want a t-shirt of that logo.
This is where like a lot of the punks and the goths would like go for like brunch and mimosas and shit like that back in
mimosas.
In the Dizzy.
I've never hung out with
mimosas.
Drinking mimosas, guys. Dad, I don't know what goth people you're hanging out with, but that's never been a thing at the goth club.
Mimosas.
Dude, good my vampire mimosa. Vampire.
Oh well, the vampires are were completely they were a different group. They kind of moved in on the goth scene.
I have no idea.
And some of them were, I mean, they were like hopeless nerds, and a couple of them were dangerous.
Do you use blood orange juice when you're making goth mimosas?
I've done that.
Makes sense.
I like mimosas.
I do too. I wasn't dissing mimosas. So, yeah, these motherfuckers, this is a classic Hammer horror scene, right? You half expect to see Michael Ripper hanging out behind the bar. And, if you're a Hammer stan, when you die and you go to get a drink, you hope to see Michael Ripper behind the bar. He was just like that was his part. He was that character in like every Hammer movie. So it's very much like the scene that I think opens Dracula Prince of Darkness, actually, where this couple arrive and they're asking
safe in the rain
questions that they shouldn't be asking, right? That the people don't want to talk about, and they basically get thrown out on their ear. And now these motherfuckers realize that they basically just consigned these kids to their death.
That is so out of the Hammer handbook.
Right?
Must go to them. I heard nothing.
Yeah, which is I'm telling you, this is like right out of Dracula Prince of Darkness.
I heard nothing.
Nothing.
I see nothing.
I see nothing.
Hogan hear it.
Schultze, I know nothing.
Nothing.
I'm on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course this is just a great suspenseful scene because first I think it's behind them.
Oh, he made it in here.
Then it's in front of them.
Yeah.
It's like the sound is moving. It's just like right on the edge of the light.
They're being stalked.
Yeah.
They're being stalked. They're being hunted.
Is it possible to remaster this so that you can get the sound to carry from one side to the other?
Oh,
I wonder if it was like that in the theaters.
It was like that in the cinema.
Okay.
I'll never forget seeing this in a movie theater.
What's the plan? Plan?
But also, the first time I played Doom on a surround sound
Holy
game,
crap.
had surround sound for Doom, and I could hear things moving around behind me. It scared the shit out of me.
Yep. I remember like one of my favorite moments, once again, going back to fucking Anchor Bay, which was like the Criterion collection for like sick freaks like us, was watching the release of Zombie, one of the first ones, which wasn't that great, but still the sound was great. And I remember this was City of the Living Dead, which we did on the stream. I just remember there's a scene where I hear, it's like, there's a fucking zombie behind me, just kind of like making a noise. So yes, with really good surround sound, absolutely you can get that effect.
Like The Exorcist. When you hear the things scratching in the attic and stuff, with surround sound, it's really good.
Yeah. Sound's so important in horror. Try watching any horror movie with the sound off.
You think it's a dog? Oh shit, what is it? It's a sheepdog or something. Come on,
sheepdog or something.
That ain't no sheepdog, son.
Not far enough. Come on. Attack.
The howls in here.
So they just fucking book it.
Sounds far away. Not far enough. Come on. Attack. What? Where are we going? I don't know. I'll tell you when we get there. Okay,
And now this is the setup for the jump scare.
You scared me, you shithead. You gonna help me up or what?
Look, I hate jump scare movies, and I've always considered jump scares to be a cheap shot, but when they're done with elegance, they're fantastic. And this is a good example.
That's Rick Baker right there, and knocking him up with that thing.
Jacking him up.
Yeah, Rick's got that on a broomstick.
Yep, he does.
I don't know, man. It might hurt. I was in The Orphan Killer 2, Bound by Blood, and they killed me with a fake brick. My head got beat in with this fake rubber brick. But the guy that was doing it was a professional MMA fighter, and he was just squishing the brick. I was getting palm striked.
Oh no! Oh
he
no!
Beat the shit out of me. Oh God!
No.
I'm just like, guys, I'm gonna have to call cut here. I'm gonna pass out.
You're concussed. You got a fucking concussion.
Yeah, the director's looking at the script. I don't see where tapping out. It doesn't say tap out here anymore.
Yeah. Right. So, I mean, David Norton here just books it, which is the right thing to do. He's leaving his friend to get mauled to death.
Yeah, you would think conveniently, if somebody's getting their throat ripped out, they wouldn't be able to scream.
That would be me and Matt.
Able to scream. If he's not
just
able to
right
scream, then David Norton doesn't turn around and go back.
I'd be like, Matt, drop and roll, drop and roll.
Yeah, stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah, seriously, if I'm ever hanging out with you boys and get attacked by a werewolf, just run and leave. Hopefully I'll survive and become a werewolf myself. Yeah, so finally these motherfuckers went and did the right thing, tried to fix their mistake, but
they chucked out the Mexican.
Too late. Too fucking late. Wonderful shot.
That's a
wonderful
great shot.
Yeah.
Good reveal.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no mention of silver bullets in this too.
Right, because this has its own mythology.
Yeah, there's less fantasy to it. You start
I love the mythology behind
more
this movie.
fantasy.
Yeah, more
fantasy in this. There's actually something that's very original in this, and that's what happens to the victims of the werewolves. We're gonna get into that.
Well, that part I like, but what I mean is like with there magic metals is the only thing that will work. Like a regular bullet, I would like.
Right. Well, that's not from folklore.
Makes it more accessible.
Right, but that's not from folklore. That's from Kurtis Fujita, his screenplay for The Wolfman. Right. That was the whole silver bullet thing. Maybe for vampires, not for werewolves. But of course, now the mythology has, in a sense, changed. Right. The same way that Dracula changed the folklore mythology of vampires, right? When there were just stories of, where there were generally suicides that would come back to life, and the reason you would stake them wasn't to pierce the heart; it was to nail them to the ground, so they would just struggle and wouldn't be able to.
I think they put a unique twist on this movie, like on the werewolf lore. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know if you want to mention it yet, but yeah, I do. I know what you're saying about the victims and how
yes,
and how it pertains to the werewolf itself.
Yes.
Well, being trapped in limbo.
Yeah. So what happens in this is if you're killed by a werewolf, you don't go up or down. You're just fucking stuck.
Purgatory.
Right. Which is really horrifying.
And then the ghosts are rotting as they are trapped in purgatory.
Yeah, but they're also haunting a werewolf.
Pile of bones or
what?
They're always there to remind him what he did, so he can't forget about it.
Right.
Cool. But that might be part of folklore too. Different werewolf legends.
It's not. It's not. I've studied that folklore.
How dare you, Hart?
Very,
How dare you?
And it's never it's never come across. It does get a mention in the Werewolf's Guide to Life, which is like a really fun book. That's basically supposed to be the book. If you get bitten by a werewolf and the werewolf knows that it was him that bit you, he basically just leaves it on your front doorstep. It's just like a bunch of photocopies, right? That are or stuffs it into your mailbox and basically says, "Yo, sorry to tell you this, but I'm a werewolf and I'm the one who attacked you."
Almost like pedos. Like they have to.
It's a primer. It's a werewolf a primer on being a werewolf.
It's like they have to leave messages in everybody around the neighborhood. Yeah, I just moved in.
Anyway, I highly recommend that book. If you haven't read it, it's so much fun. And there's an audiobook version that's also excellent. But in that, some of the werewolves claim that their victims will come to get them. Well, not to get them, but just to haunt them. And they'll just appear. And then there's discussion in the werewolf community of like whether, these are hallucinations, right, produced by their guild, or if they're actually being visited by the dead, by their own victims.
Well, a werewolf is a supernatural entity.
Right.
That's true.
Yes. It works. It works.
So it kind of would make sense. And we haven't really seen any modern werewolf films where they went back to the folklore where you would brew up your poisonous werewolf cocktail with wolf's bane, or you had this special belt that you made smeared with bats and stuff and skins, and you would belt that on to turn into the werewolf. And that's more like Peter Stubb back in Germany who ate a bunch of children.
The world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for you to do it.
I like the howl sound effects in this movie too. I can't recall anything like it before hearing this. Even the breathing when they're in the moors, but also when they're in the bar, the pub, you can hear them. The howl, it's so beefy. It's like, I don't know, the sound. I've never heard a wolf like that. It just stood out to me.
The only thing that kind of comes close, I would say, is the Panthers, the Black Panther in Cat People, the remake.
Oh, Cat People's good.
Yeah, Cat People's good.
Are we back? Right? Are we back? What the fuck was that?
Did you guys like Be a Pepper too? Be a Dr. Pepper. Be Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. So those of you that are wondering, like, where David Naughton came from, like, what his claim to fame was before this, he was the Dr. Pepper douche.
And he could dance.
I drink Dr. Pepper, don't you see? Because it's the perfect taste for me.
You homo. I just want to see him get killed by a werewolf right away.
You homo from Homoslavia. You're just like singing and dancing and shit over some fucking soda.
Original taste, is making peppers everywhere I go. There's boating peppers, toting peppers, cooking peppers, good looking peppers.
Oh, it's a cute dog. Is this the one with Jimmy J.J. Walker? Because I know there's one with Jimmy. Oh, no, this is the one with Popeye.
Yeah, he's got Popeye in that motherfucker.
They're saluting peppers, tooting peppers. I'm a pepper man. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? Be a pepper, be Dr. Pepper. Aye.
Now, I always thought that shit was gross, personally, but I don't know. Maybe
I like Dr. Pepper.
I like me some Dr. Pepper. Fuck, I want a Dr. Pepper now from watching that commercial.
Dr. Pepper's good with Lady Lord Nelson's rum. Admiral Nelson.
Would you say that it's an acquired taste? Would you say it's an acquired taste?
A little bit.
No.
Okay.
Maybe a little.
Because I haven't tried it since I was a kid, and you know how as you get older, like your palate changes.
Every 7 years, allegedly.
Yeah. What's the difference between Captain Morgan and Admiral Nelson besides a rank?
Captain Morgan's way sweeter and more syrupy.
Yes.
And also
Admiral
Captain Morgan's way
Nelson's
more
on the
expensive.
bottom shelf.
I thought Admiral Nelson had his other leg up on the barrel.
Yeah, he does have his other leg up on the barrel. He's more Caucasian.
Admiral Nelson's wearing the brown pants.
Yeah, and don't use that shit. Don't use Captain Morgan if you're making daiquiris, because the daiquiris are like way too sweet to begin with.
No, you want to use Sailor Jerry's.
That's what I'm drinking right now.
It has a lot more alcohol in it. Sailor Jerry is really yummy.
The
Matt, what you drinking, boy?
The best rum that
Matt,
I've had.
Show us what you're drinking. I demand it.
Oh, I have it in the fridge right now, but Sailor Jerry. I never tried Sailor Jerry, so I picked up a bottle. They had it on sale. I was drinking Rebel 100 before that, and then I usually like Kraken rum. That one's pretty good.
Awesome.
Oh, I've never had
Kraken's really good. You'd be very surprised at how good Black Hot 90 is.
Yeah, no, I mean,
the girl on the bottle is pretty cool too.
I've never had it here. Let me get rid of that.
Has anybody had the Lady Bly rum?
Yeah.
No,
Sorry.
I do like rum though. It's pretty smooth, man.
I tried
like
Lady Bly has there's something synthetic about it that I just couldn't. But like Blackheart 93 is not that expensive, but it's really good. Anyways, whatever. I just finished a bottle the other day, faster than I probably should have. But
faster than a speeding bullet.
I'm drinking water now. So
Okay, I think this is the one with Jimmy J.J. Walker.
Hey, Gus, you special enough to skate with us? I'm an all-star skater. There's nobody greater.
This is before the word special had a different connotation.
I score every game, but being a pepper's my fame. All right!
Really, dude? That's your thing. You're not into music. You're not into girls. You're not into horror movies. You're not into comics. You're into fucking Dr. Pepper. God,
I'll tell you what's a horror.
What's worse is
Horror
they're
is those
into
white
him being
pants.
into that.
Walking around with those white pants and that shirt.
Compounded. Yeah, it's after.
I'm gonna have to find these commercials to put on American Horrors now, Brian.
I'm sorry.
They love him.
I'm gonna
They
have
love
to
him
find
too
these
much.
commercials to put them on American Horrors now, Brian.
You should. You should. Hey, it's horror related.
It is.
Pepper and they'll say, oh, when you got your pepper, keep that way.
I mean, it's not as like cool as like having like Cough Joe all up in your soda commercial, but it's still horror related because that's David Nolan.
It's all right to be
Yeah, no,
dynamite, but to be a pepper is out of sight. Would you like to be a pepper too?
Dynamite.
Is he flipping them? Oh, okay. But he was flipping the bird there. You stopped it right where there was a can in the upward motion blur, right by his middle finger.
Fred Flintstone's running around now.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to whip out some smokes.
Honey.
Princeton's where the flavor's at.
Oh my God! All right, no more fucking Dr. Pepper commercials. I promise you, but I did have to fucking kind of show that shit.
It's funny. And the guy went
Yes.
from that to American Werewolf in London, and then his career really didn't go anywhere after that movie was a big hit.
Yeah,
It
no,
was-
it kind of fell off.
It's very strange how he just kind of disappeared.
He did a lot of TV stuff.
Yeah,
he's got a list of credits, but it's all it's a lot of
He
TV.
was doing
series.
Mercedes or BMW commercials. I remember, like in the '90s or some shit popping up.
Well, it's yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's just like sometimes actors seem to disappear, but then you'll go on IMDb and you realize, oh, they've been working all this time. They've just been in shit that I don't watch.
Right.
Like I don't know, like soap operas or cop shows or something.
When I had Cracker, you can see 2 or 3 things that like Cuba again Jr. has been in. That's like run of the mill buddy cop shit, and like, so when they say they're working hard, yeah, they're working hard. You just don't see it because it doesn't make it.
Right.
They're still working.
Well, these days, you got the ghetto of Netflix or Amazon Prime because they'll push it for a little bit, then it just kind of disappears into their catalog, and then you can't find it anymore. And if you go looking for it, you're going to spend like 45 minutes trying to find the goddamn thing.
I know.
You gotta wait for YouTube to tell you where all the gems are.
Tubi is 100 times better. Honest to
like Tubi.
goodness, Tubi is like the best streaming service.
It is.
It
my
is
favorite.
actually. But
And
I
I
gotta
got to
tell
give
you,
it to
like,
Roku too. The Roku streaming also is really good, you know. And I think out of the pay services that I've experimented with, because I cut the cords last year, I wanted to see what it was like. You know what I mean?
Right.
And since I have, I've been fine. And frankly, the thing that I've got the most bang out of for my money is either Max or Paramount Plus, because I watch like Ridiculousness, Jackass, Wild Boys, and that's on Paramount Plus. You know, and I need a break. I need a break from the horror. So watch the old Jackass shows, or Jackass Shark Week was pretty fun.
Yeah,
There's palate cleansers, man.
I watched Strange New Worlds. Don't hate me.
I've heard that in Hollywood, like being an actor, like it's as much of a cesspool as comics. Like you don't perform, you get
worse,
dumped.
dude. I would
Yeah,
imagine.
even worse. Yeah.
Yeah, and not even just being an actor, just like anything in Hollywood.
Just being down in Hollywood.
Yeah, was it like
Going up in the hills.
getting screwed over in comics is a little bit different than getting screwed over in Hollywood.
There's not
There's
enough
literally
money
a couch.
to get a real
There's a couch
fucking
for
in
that.
comics. There's just not enough money involved to get really fucked. My friends that run a effects business in LA got fucked by the production company. They had just done a big DMX video. They did the Justin Timberlake Nelly video, and I forget the third one they did, and they were owed $100,000. So the production company just bankrupted the production company, and they got stiff for $100K. And
I've heard the same thing about Queen, like the Queen
Maybe they
movie.
had to.
Like the effects guys
Maybe
on
it
that
is
never got
worse.
paid for that movie.
Maybe it is worse then, because I was talking about that casting couch.
Oh yeah, it's really bad, guys. The casting couch, and I'll tell you from it's worse for the dudes. They don't talk about the gay casting couch, but it's a very real thing.
Yes.
And especially with kids, I have several friends that were child actors that were molested when they were child actors, and I have lots of adult friend actors that, you know, male actors have all told me, I won't work with this guy, I won't work with that guy. Even Bryan Singer from the X-Men, the original X-Men actor that was playing Wolverine, he left because he couldn't take all the unwanted advances from the director.
Who was it?
Victor
Salvo. The original man to play Wolverine.
Wasn't that don't tell me. Doug Ray Scott was cast originally.
Yeah, Doug Ray Scott.
He went to Mission Impossible.
Apparently, Hugh Jackman was fine with all the extra attention.
I gotta get a refill.
It makes you think, though, right?
Like, yeah, totally.
Sure.
Hart, could you do me a solid and tell these people like about Victor Salva or something?
Oh, you guys don't know too much about Victor Salva, the child rapist?
Oh, wow.
Okay, so they lobby allegations at Disney all the time about grooming, right? So I've got a real easy, you want to figure out if they're grooming people? Well, there was a director, Victor DeSalva. He was the director of Clown House. And on the set of Clown House, he drugged his 12-year-old boy lead and raped him. So this man was convicted. He went to jail for his rapes. And at his trial, they had people like Robert Redford defending him. And then when he gets out of jail,
Hail Hydra
hires him to direct a bunch of half-naked tweens in powder. So if you've got a convicted rapist who's raping boys, why the fuck would you hire him to do powder? It's not like there's not dozens. You can't throw a rock in Hollywood without hitting a kick-ass director. There's no reason to hire this gentleman unless you're part of that scene. And
they protect their own.
Caught with this kind of thing.
Yeah, they protect their own. Sim was a child actor and told us about, like, he met Macaulay Culkin, and Macaulay Culkin was like, yeah, dude, like, it's bad. You should probably, like, not do this. You should probably get out. Like, he gave him, like, you know, a warning. But yeah, no, it's supposedly, I imagine it's 100 times worse than people think it is. Look at fucking Jimmy Savile. He was like a fucking serial rapist and killer.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. What makes Bill Cosby look like a fucking saint in comparison?
They say a lot of people
untouchable.
They say the most successful people in Hollywood either take the dick or give the dick. You know what I'm saying? So you have to think.
Oh no! What are you saying?
No. I've heard actors like
between taking and giving.
The porn actor.
It's not good.
No, catching. What?
The porn actor Jerry Butler, right? Who is considered like one of the better actors, right? Back when you know, skin flicks were
back when they really gave a shit.
Back when it was
instead of actually giving a shit.
Yes,
he's actually in one of the movies we play on American Horrors. I think it's not Evil Town. It's something else, like Evil something that there's aliens. John Carradine is in it. Ginger Lynn or Amber Lynn is in it.
What is
it
this?
Involves aliens.
I gotta see this shit.
Yeah, it's on American Horrors. I'll schedule it this weekend, guys.
Oh hell yeah, I'll watch that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he said the reason why he went into porn was because, like, you know, he was trying to get jobs in TV, and he was New York based and in the theater and that sort of thing. And he was just like, basically, I went into porn so I didn't have to suck a dick.
You know what's
going into porn because Hollywood is too dirty.
Blow them, or they wanted to blow me.
Well, now that you've seen behind the curtain, like now we see behind the curtain, right? But for all those years, they were demonizing like porn actors and all that kind of stuff. Like they were like, "Oh no, you guys are dirty because you do that shit on film." But in the meantime, they're doing this stuff on the casting couch, or they're doing it to kids. You know what I'm saying?
But they're not doing it in front of a camera.
It's fucking ridiculous.
All the shit's coming out about fucking
such
Puff Daddy.
a fucking cesspool.
Yeah, it is. And anytime you've got money and influence, you're going to have that, guys. I mean, I was in Hollywood for 22 years. And part of the reason I didn't become more successful at certain things because I wouldn't do it. There's things I wouldn't do. I didn't allow people to be victimized in front of me. when we had Billie Eilish working for us as a little girl, her father was there the whole way. He was sitting there. He was making sure his daughter's okay. He was trying to understand what's happening. And he was an actor too. You know, Patrick was an actor. His mom, her mom was an actress. And so I really commend them for keeping an eye on their kids, you know, especially getting involved in music, because music is just as bad as cesspool.
Right.
You know, there's always somebody looking for a way to victimize you. That's why you have pedos will go get involved with the Boy Scouts, because that's where.
Did you see that? Did you see that round table where they had all those rappers, you know, and they were talking about their experience in the business, and one dude was like, "Not everybody here knows they had to take the dick, right?" And they were like, "No, we never." And he was like, "No, come on, not be honest. Like they tried to fuck me. I'm sure they tried to fuck you too."
Yeah, for sure. Now all the shit's coming out about Puff Daddy, right? Turns out he was like a major.
Well, is that what Cat Williams has been saying?
Like Puff Daddy.
Oh yeah, Cat Williams.
Look, you got a name like Puff Daddy. I'm even handing you a joint if you don't take it.
He wasn't even a rapper. He's like what he was doing was
producer.
Karaoke. He was bad karaoke.
Hey, I just want everybody to know you don't even want to know what I had to do to get a job on Six Gun Gorilla. Like,
come on, it wasn't that bad. I held you tenderly afterwards. Shut up.
The videos I had to make.
Did you tickle the balls? Did you have to tickle the balls? Did you tickle the balls? Were they good to tickle, dog? Were they good to tickle?
Am I asleep now or awake or what?
I realize I don't look so hot, David.
But yeah, look how
I thought you'd be glad to see me.
Griffin Dunn looks here.
David.
David,
there's that.
you're hurting my feelings.
Hurting your feelings? Has it occurred to you that it might be unsettling to see you rise from the grave to visit me?
Sorry to be upsetting you, David, but I had to come.
About that trachea.
Oh, and just like the dangling flesh.
There's that one little piece that's little
buried someplace in New York.
Yeah,
great. It's a great build.
Your parents came.
That's Rick Baker for you, man.
In my funeral. I was surprised at how many people came.
Well, why should you be surprised? You're a very well-liked person.
Yeah, I was, wasn't I?
Well, I liked you.
Debbie Klein cried a lot.
Oh, God. Am I asleep now or what?
So you know what she does?
Yeah, so he goes over like the details of watching his own funeral and everything, and then he drops a bomb on him. He's just like, I'm on bed because I got killed by a werewolf, and I won't be free until the last werewolf is dead, and that's you. So you need to kill yourself.
Werewolf.
I'm not listening to this.
On the moors, we were attacked by a lycanthrope, a werewolf. I was murdered.
An Italian-American in London.
And now I walk the earth in limbo until the werewolf's curse is lifted.
Is he Italian-American?
That other guy, he's got to be. I mean, that guy is as Italian as it gets.
I like how they use the gash to.
I always figured he was. Jewish because of the whole like Yahtzee werewolf scene.
Oh, both the characters are Jewish. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to warn you.
Warn me?
We were attacked by a werewolf.
I'm not listening to.
I was murdered, an unnatural death, and now I walk the earth in limbo until the werewolf's curse is lifted.
An unnatural death, right? And one of the things I always loved about the werewolf in this is I've always felt werewolves should look profoundly unnatural, right? That's something that when you look at it, it's something that's not supposed to
far away from a dog.
Here.
Shut up.
The wolf's bloodline must be severed. The last remaining werewolf must be destroyed. It's you, David.
It's you, David.
What?
Please believe me. You'll kill people.
Nurse!
Yeah, so it's like at first he was almost kind of happy to see him, and now it's like this ain't even cool anymore.
I need more drugs.
I'm lonely.
Nurse.
Or less. If he's like he thinks he's hallucinating.
Yeah.
Kill yourself.
Now you see, this looks 100. Look in the high definition and everything. I'm sorry, like that fucking looks just disgusting.
It looks even better than it did back in the day, huh?
Yeah, man.
Nice and wet.
But once again, we're talking about Rick
Baker's
Baker, the goat. The goat.
I'm just
It's all
saying,
true.
this is still
The
one of my
undead
very
surround me.
favorite werewolf movies.
Have you ever talked to you kill others?
Yeah, no, it's a classic. Man.
It's revered as the best. It's revered as the best.
I'm sorry?
It's revered as the best horror werewolf movie of all time. Most people consider it the best one.
There ain't many that I can even like put on the same.
It's not my favorite. It's probably it's up in my top 3, but
right.
I like Howling. I mean, I like the Wolfman and Howling to this. But.
Oh yeah, no, I'm more of a Howling fan. I'm more of a Howling
Soldiers.
fan. For sure.
Dog Soldiers is the best.
Yeah.
Dog Soldiers.
Oh, Dog Soldiers was
sorry.
fucking awesome.
They put out another movie like after Dog Soldiers, like the English did, and it was awesome. It was about a train. You remember? Like it was like
Howl.
Yeah, Howl. That's what it was.
I mean, there's been a lot of good ones. This one just it stands
another one
the
too
test
called
of time.
Were,
Yes.
like WER.
It really does.
It's just Were.
People
Yeah.
still
More of your
trying to
classic
dethrone
Wolfman.
this. You know.
I check that out.
Beware the moon.
For sure.
Beware the moon.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just has so many memorable moments. And what Hart said about this movie not having any fat on it. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
The pacing of it, right? It was something that because I hadn't watched this in years because when I was a kid, I watched it 1,000 times. Right?
Yeah, me too.
Right. So then
I
it's
even
just
debated
like
watching it again
one of
before
those movies.
the show.
It's like it's like certain movies I have to have copies of whatever new medium it comes out in. You know, Dawn of the Dead, Mad Max. Escape from New York. There's certain movies. This isn't one of those movies, but I'm so glad I watched it again last night because it was like visiting an old friend I hadn't seen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
20 years.
That one scene in the subway where you just see him, that aerial view where you just see the beast coming out. For me as an adult, that's the scariest scene where you just see the top half.
It's the scariest shot in the movie. I agree. Yeah. I totally
agree. And that lit scene, the transformation scene in his girlfriend's apartment or the nurses, all like hard light, man.
I'd say too for myself as a professional director now and a professional editor that's got like decades of directing under my belt and acting and dealing with special effects in the films I've shot. It's different for me. That's why I look at it. I'm like, man, there's no fat on this movie. Every scene propels the story forward.
Yes.
Every single one. It keeps
No
it
filler.
moving, keeps it moving.
There's no bathroom break. There's no bathroom break in this movie. You're stuck in your chair, bro.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing that drives me crazy about the fact that the average running time for a movie now is 2 hours. Those are the short ones. Yeah. Seems like the average running time for a movie these days is 2.5 hours.
I don't mind it being long as long as it's good.
Yeah, they pad them though. They pad them, especially the TV series. Like,
my God,
we tried to watch the new True Detective with Jodie Foster, and it's like, could you pad this anymore? Could you have any more fucking padding? Can you just get into the goddamn story and get the fucking story going? I don't need all this other crap. I don't need all this other garbage.
Exactly.
Like, get it moving, guys. Get it moving.
The pacing is just fucking horrible. And even so many of the movies that have come out in recent years that I love, that I think are great, I could still be like, that's, it's great, but it could lose like 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
Chop, chop, chop.
Yeah, like and for me, it's easy as an editor. Like I could see it clear as day as a professional editor. I'm like, cut this off. This is extraneous. This doesn't matter. This performance isn't working. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. I don't need to see the outlaw biker carrying a baby around.
But hold on. Now you got to bring me everything that was on the cutting floor and let me look at that.
Oh, they do that. They'll do that. They will splice that shit together for like shits and giggles.
The thing that Matt's saying about this scene where it's lit hard
light,
right. It's not, and I'm not shitting on Stan Winston at all, but one of the things I remember about the Congo was he wanted to take a shot at making apes because, like you said, Baker's the goat.
The goat.
And he made his name on apes. He was the 1976 King Kong. He wore his own stuff. That was his.
He was in the ape costume a bunch of times.
Yeah. So
that's when I asked you, who is that? I couldn't tell because it was an old picture, and I never really knew what Stan Winston looked like.
Well, plus, he was in makeup, but it's Stan, and so what I'm saying is like Stan Winston wanted to take a shot at the apes. So for the Congo, that's what he did.
Yeah.
But one of the things that, and again, I'm not shitting on Stan Winston because
but he ain't Rick Baker.
Sucked. That scene sucked because it was lit poorly. And a lot of times, like in The Thing with Rob Bottin, you'll see it's like flashlights all over the place during the dog in the jail cell. I'm like, first of all, lights, I get it. Flashlights, I get it. Why are they doing this?
Right.
But in this scene, Matt, you got it. It's lit hard and it holds up.
Totally different.
Well, it would be lit hard in an apartment.
You can't hide in the light of this scene, and Rick Baker doesn't have to hide. Everything he does can be seen from every single angle in the hardest light, and it holds up.
That's why he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about. That makes it horrific too.
That's why he's the MVP.
Yep.
That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
It just seems so real too, you know. It's like that scene in Salem's Lot when fucking Orlocker, I forgot his name. He Barlow, he just appears in the kitchen.
Yes.
Right here, he's just in the fucking living room. It's just like you're there with him. It's so realistic and so fucking horrific, and it puts you there, you know.
Yeah, man. At the same time, which transformation do I prefer? This or the one in The Howling? The one in The Howling is just so much.
The movie, everything about it.
It's really
fucking
nightmarish.
Dirty, greasy, fucking. I don't know if it's. I forgot if it's L.A. or if it's like Manhattan, downtown. Oh my god, yeah.
The only gripe I have about The Howling is that they didn't have a lot of comedy in there. You know.
Yeah. No.
There's a bunch of comedy in The
It
Howling,
is, but it's just different.
It's kind of hard comedy. You know what I'm saying? If that's a thing, like it wasn't.
I'll have to
dry.
look at the one in The Howling. I kind of remember it, but I remember this one being painful, and he really seemed reluctant to want to turn into the the werewolf.
Well,
in The Howling, it seems like, well, this is what's happening, and it's finally here. Let's,
Yeah.
Well, the way
They
I
also
always
seem to
imagine a
enjoy
werewolf
it. They really seem
transformation,
to
the way
enjoy
it's
the
depicted,
transformation.
They love it.
I will say in that werewolf TV series, they had some pretty neat werewolf transformations, and also in the fairy tale one from what's his name, director of The Crying Game, and I think it's called Company of Wolves.
Yes, we did that.
Company of Wolves. There's some really good transformations in that film.
Yes, amazing by Christopher Tucker, Chris somebody, I think, right? Yeah. Yeah, the transformations in that are great because they're all different. It's not, it's goodness, man. Like, the wolf's Stephen Ray, he opens his mouth and like the werewolf snout comes out of his mouth. Like there's a wolf literally inside of him coming out.
Wearing a person suit.
Brilliant, beautiful stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Eli Roth put that off for Hemlock Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated Hemlock Grove only because the werewolf changed into like an Alaskan Husky.
Yeah, no. Well, it's got to be unnatural. It has to be something that looks like it's not supposed to be here. And this is a totally original werewolf design because it has sort of like the head of a dog.
Yeah, it's like a dog bear wolf. That's scary right there. Oh fuck.
This is the scariest moment in the movie.
For me, as an adult, this right here.
It's dog bear
As a
wolf.
kid, I remember thinking that this scene was like really menacing.
Dude, as a kid, I didn't even notice the fucking bear up there or the werewolf up there. I just didn't see it for some reason. I don't know why it blended.
They don't show it for very long.
Right, he just comes into the frame.
But I never even noticed
it. On VHS, it kind of is. It's not as exact on VHS.
That's why, dude. That makes sense.
Oh, interesting
ratio.
Interesting.
Yeah,
See, this is the right.
Brian.
Hart would know this shit.
I guess your high def theory kind of it works a little bit.
Well, once again, it's a different way of watching a fucking movie that I've seen.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do agree with you, man.
It's like Dawn of the Dead in 3D. Did I ask for it? No. Did I want it? No. Yeah. If it's playing at the theater down the street, am I going to go see it? Fuck yes.
You could really notice the difference with something like the Warriors. The Warriors, when you see it on VHS versus the Warriors on Blu-ray, you could really see the photography pop with the neon colors and the lights and the way he set it up. Well, Walter Hill
Warriors was awesome.
Some of these are revelations, right?
Love this
like
shot
the
right
Criterion
here.
version of Night of the Living Dead. The Image was it Image? I think that was the first really like taken from the original negative. right? That movie always looked muddy because the people that developed it, that did the transfer, fucked it up. And suddenly this movie that you always saw looking muddy is fucking clear as fucking day. I remember going to the Alamo to see like the 4K restoration by Martin Scorsese and like the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and just like seeing things I never noticed before in the frames. And that's one of those movies that's imprinted in my head like a fucking flip book. Right? I know every inch of that fucking movie. And then I'm seeing new shit.
Yeah,
I have the director's cut of the Warriors. Do you know what the director's cut of the Warriors is?
What's that?
The fade scenes show the actual comic book panel.
I gotta head out.
Oh wow,
that's all it is.
Oh, Preston?
All the scenes are the same, but
me too, guys. I got Death Metal Hero coming on right now.
Yeah, guys, I gotta go make food for the lady. I gotta head out too.
You traitors are all fucking abandoning me.
No, trading me.
Gotta make food for the woman.
But yeah,
it's all good, Hart. Thank you so much for hanging out. Preston just fucking bounced, motherfucker.
It's good to see you guys. It's good to see you
as well. And Matt, tell these fools
times.
where they can find you and where they should head when this stream ends.
Yeah, if you guys want, you can come on over to my channel. It's Metal Movies and Brucey's. I'm gonna have Luke Agilita over there, also known as Death Metal Hero. He's gonna be talking about his works and whatnot. And thanks for having me on. You can find me on Twitter. Give me a follow at Rune Cutter Comics and Rune Cutter Comic. And thanks again, Brian, for having me on. I really appreciate it, brother.
Oh, dude, you're the best. And everybody, thanks so much for hanging out, man. And everybody, go fucking check out. We're gonna wrap up in a couple of minutes. Everybody, go check out that interview. And if I don't pop in to the chat or whatever, tell Luke I said yo.
I will. I'll see you guys. Nice seeing you guys again.
Take it easy, Matt.
Peace. Backstab. Moment.
Everybody's got to have some kind of a bedtime getting in the way of things.
I was going to say,
shank.
If you can't watch his show tonight, you can catch it in a replay on Saturday on the Madness YouTube.
Yes.
We always play it again for those of you who missed it.
Yes. And speaking of traders, Hart, tell these people where they can find you.
All right, guys. Hi, I'm Hart T. Fisher from American Horrors, which is a completely free linear streaming horror television channel. It's a throwback because most of the time when you go, you say, "Oh, it's a channel. It's a dink box," and you go and it's not really a channel. It's a video store online. When you spend half your time doom scrolling and arguing with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, trying to figure out what the fuck you're going to watch. At American Horrors, we handle that for you. We're the DJs. We do it, man. When you go to a Danzig show, Danzig doesn't give you the playlist. You don't get Danzig's playlist. You go see the Rolling Stones, you don't get a goddamn playlist. Okay, folks? What I can tell you is we had 2 world premieres on the network this week alone. We had the Flowers and the Razor Wire feature film premiere, and that was late Friday night. And then we had the premiere of The Most Dangerous Man in Comics, which is a mini documentary about me and my work in comic books. You could find us on Roku. Roku is one of the best devices out there for watching material on. I have my Roku hooked in directly to my Ethernet, so I get a really great picture, a really good screen. And we just upgraded American Horrors last year. So I upgraded the streaming software, I upgraded the package, our server. So it's running really, it's the picture quality is better, and we're putting more and more cool movies on. And just because we talked about an American Werewolf in London today, I'm going to go ahead and load up the schedule for the weekend with tons of cool werewolf stuff.
Nice.
And you can see us online at Roku or online at www.americanhorrors.net. And definitely, folks, pick up a shirt, pick up a coffee mug. The channel's free, and this is how we keep it free. We need your support. We need your help to keep the channel rolling for free, and buying the merch really makes a difference. That's how we eat. This is what we do full time. So thanks for letting me
That's it. It's live right now. That is the American Horrors channel live right now.
Look, I think it's a pisser. I think it's I love it. I think it's a total
That is on my TV on Roku right now, the American Horrors channel. There you go, Hart. I got you.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, Hart. Thank you so much for hanging out, man.
Looking forward to popping in the show again next time. And Pops, let's make sure we got your latest promo to run on the network, because everybody out there who's a horror fan, you should know that we have independent advertising packages for indie horror creators. So let's say you've got a new movie on Tubi, but you keep getting shut down by Facebook. Facebook doesn't like you. They don't like your horror. They don't like your monster, or maybe it's a serial killer, or maybe it's this, and they're interfering with your ability to reach audiences. Well, American Horrors, we've got so many people tuned in every day. We've got between 9,500 and 10,000 people watching every day. You know, they're tuned in, they're watching. So your channel or your trailer or your book, we've had really good success with independent writers that have been able to market their stuff on the network. The guys at Psychotoxin Press said that, hey, Hart, when our promos went on your network starting on Thanksgiving, our sales went up 52%. That's real. That's a real result. Now, there's nothing that I can't guarantee that, but I can say that other writers and other authors and other filmmakers have had really good success with their advertising on the network. We're uncut. We got packages starting as low as $250, $450, and on. And you could have a 30-second spot, a 15-second spot, a minute-and-a-half spot. These things are all open, and I'm handling a lot of this directly, or Michael Joy at Joy Horror.
I will get you the newest thing that I have. I've been putting something together that's going to go along with the business plan.
Good.
But I'll have something together this weekend for sure.
Awesome, guys. You have a great one. Keep up the horror.
Peace out, Hart. Stay scared.
I can't help it.
Now, see, Hart uses Roku, and Hart and Max are the ones that encouraged me. You know, when I got the idea, they're like, Roku's the way to go. We're already in. We can help you get seen. It's just a no-brainer to go do it this way. Yeah. So this is the way we're doing it. You know.
Hell yeah.
Now I might not be crowdfunding anything except maybe the server for the extra uploaded content, but I'm putting together a business plan with a partner and presenting it to investors. We already have one solid investor, and we're looking at it, talking to a few other people. We're also going to pull together from the people in the network, pull together what we can, and try to get this done without even crowdfunding it, guys.
Hell yeah, man.
Let's just get it up there and get it going, right? Let's just get it up there and get it going.
Sounds good to me, man. Sounds good to me. You know I'm down. Jeff, do you want to tell these people where they can find you and your stuff? Not your stuff, your stuff.
My stuff. I'm basically I'm on YouTube, Kit Bash Federation. That's the only place I am. I just switched my name on X because a lot of the stuff that I was reposting has nothing to do with spaceships. So I'm going to have to redo that. But Kit Bash Federation at YouTube.
Rock and roll, dude. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having me on. They've asked for me to slide right in here, and it was like I haven't been back for months, and I've just been quiet, and you guys are like not even what the fuck, dude. So it was kind of nice just to slide right on.
Oh yeah, no, never. We don't get down like that.
Hey, I was gonna say,
people are always, when I say like in the DM group, that people just like pop in when you feel like it, leave when you feel like it.
Yeah,
we're casual like that.
I was gonna say, Kit Bash, I'd be interested in talking to you about bringing your spaceship shows to our network.
Yeah,
because you do some cool shit.
Well,
they're pretty cool.
The production part where I like have to edit everything together and speed through this and slow down for that. I'm still not sure if I'm doing the right thing, but you know, the dry dock is still undergoing some upgrades.
Hey, I'm just saying, when you know, it's good. The Roku thing is going to be really easy because you're still going to be doing your YouTube thing. You're just going to title it, describe it, and send it to us to upload to Roku.
Okay.
After you do it, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not trying to get anybody to stop doing what they do. I'm just trying to offer you another platform to get monetized where I can guarantee you're going to get what the analytics actually say. Look, I'm looking at shows in my network right now. Doc Show, 28 views or 19 views. The analytics and the homepage say two different things. And then you look somewhere else and it says something else. How do you people monetized on YouTube know they're not screwing you? Because I wouldn't be able to tell because there's three different results for what the views are on my show.
So, however, whatever I have that, like that I currently have, if that's something that I send to you, like from my hard drive or something, or do I like?
It's just like this. Well, most people, we let them use our StreamYard, so we can just tap it right out of our own StreamYard. But you know what I mean? It's like, it's just an upload. Okay. I can go take it off your YouTube channel with the YouTube downloader. No problem. You just send me what description and whatnot and title and the thumbnail. Okay. And then we send it up. But we would teach you guys as showrunners exactly how to send us exactly what we need. So it would just be a quick transfer. Boom, boom, it's up. Because it's just file transfer programs, really. That's all it is.
Okay.
You just, I mean, if you're using our studio, though, then we can just download it straight out of our studio. And it's not even you don't even have to send me anything. I can just take it right out of my StreamYard. You see what I'm saying? Like this show right here, Brian doesn't have to send me anything. I can go download it out of the StreamYard because it's in our StreamYard.
You are welcome to have whatever you can get from me.
Dude, cool.
Including whatever you want to ask.
I will definitely talk to you, man. You know me where I'm at on Twitter. Hit me up, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Dave, tell these fools where they can find you.
Anywhere on social media where you see ID Crisis or Identity Crisis Design. You can go to my website, idcrisisdesign.com, and same for the YouTube channel. It's all it's all branding. That's what it is. Couldn't think of a good name, so that's what I thought of.
That's all good. It works.
And
everybody,
the same invite goes to you, bro.
I don't necessarily have any like shows. It's something I need to like work on, but. Boy, what I could do if I didn't have an 8-hour day job.
I wish I was his next door neighbor.
Yeah, man.
Who? Pops?
Brian.
Yes.
Talk. It's all you.
Oh, okay. Everybody, you can find me at Brian Christgau on the Squatters. You can find me on the Facebooks, Brian Christgau. Basically, YouTube channel, obviously. Smash that like button, click the subscribe, ring a ding ding, knowing the bell for notifications. And until we see you again, Pops, you about ready for this?
Oh, hold on. I got something new up in here.
Cue that shit up.
Yeah, let me get it set up. Is it even in the studio? Dang it.
You got it. And then we got to figure out what we're watching.
Have you guys seen Carissa's number 8 yet, or Chris's Slaughterville yet?
No.
Slaughterville 3, man. Chris Brown from Laughing Rogue. Remember Slaughterville? Got some games, got books.
That dude. Yeah.
Slaughterville 3 is live right now on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, I think. I think he hit both. So whichever.
The dog is. Right? I'm sorry, guys. The dog is freaking out. I gotta get him out of the house.
We're piecing out anyway, brother.
He's gonna pee on something. I'm sorry. Take it easy, guys.
Don't apologize.
Bro.
I'll see you in a couple weeks.
And also, dude, Carissa's got number 8 of Worthy Chaos Redemption. That horror story that I met this girl like 14 months ago on book 1.
Yeah.
She just kickstarting book 8 right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
She ain't fucking
She's
around
doing like nothing else then.
No, dude, she goes first off, her crowdfunding is to reimburse herself because she goes everything out of pocket up front. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
She pays her artists. Her artists don't quit. Her and her writing partner don't quit. She could print out to book 11 right now.
Wow.
In 14 months, guys. But she crowdfunds. As soon as the campaign's over, she goes right into fulfillment, because she's already got everything. She already paid for it. She's already got it. She goes right into fulfillment. And then she goes right back into the next campaign. I mean, I think she took a month off for December. That was it.
Yeah,
and she just been killing it. So awesome. I'm gonna play those two. I'm gonna play those 2 trailers as we go out. And they're both horror related, so it fucking works, right?
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Until then, peace, love, and metal. Metal up your.
In a small town unlike any other, Lisa and her husband Ray were away from home for a long time. The stress of the world brought them back to their homestead to recharge. The entire family is reuniting once again for a time of faith, food, and fun. The whole town is invited. Come join Ray and his family for the feast of a lifetime. Welcome to the picnic. Slaughterville Book 3, The Cannibal Rednecks, is a 66-page, full-color story of love, loss, and family, set in the small town of Slaughterville. Look for it on your favorite crowdfunding platform.
Getting it there.